We're back, people, and today we're going to film on Ifeatu Melifonwu, Miami Dolphins' newest safety. Just made the signing for like 1 year, 4 million. I think it's a good value signing. It's kind of similar to the James Daniel one. He has a pretty big injury history. Like he's missed some times over his career, but he's a good player that you're getting at a value, and that's kind of the spot the Dolphins kind of put themselves in. Like every team makes these types of moves where like you take a player that maybe has more of an injury history because they're cheaper. But the Dolphins kind of have to take these players because of, the limited cap space. So it's a little bit of a risk in that sense, but I think the reward could be worth it if you do get decent amount of playing time out of him. I think, he's kind of the perfect scheme fit out there for you. Very, very athletic. Also, like he's got great size. Like he's 6'3", 213. Very versatile and athletic. He's the type of safety that you're looking for in the Weaver scheme. You know how people like Nick Emenwari, the guy from the draft that's from South Carolina, he is that same type of player already in the league and still pretty young as well. So very good blitzer, can play literally all over the field. Is pretty good matching up on tight ends. Like just a lot of good reps from Melifonwu on the film over the past 2 seasons. It's just he's missed time, especially last year. He missed a decent amount of games being on IR, but he comes up, makes some tackles, very physical, explosive player. Like he tested super well at the combine, and it shows on film. I do think that he's better in the box than he is on the back end, and playing like I've seen him play as a dime backer, really effective blitzing in that stuff. Seen him play as like a big nickel, make some plays, can get some plays on the ball as well, ball skills, that type of thing. It's just really the biggest question mark with him is the injury history. I like a lot of the other stuff. I like the fit. I like his athleticism and versatility, kind of exactly what you're looking for. But Dolphins kind of have to take a chance on some of these players just because, they have a lot of needs, but they don't have a lot of, resources, at least in, free agency. They can make more cap space. It's just that pushes a problem farther down the line. But he can make some plays. Like I think he's a good player. It's just kind of the typical sort of move for the Dolphins, but I think they have to make a little bit more this season. So play one, breaking this down on the back end, just matching up on TJ Hawkinson, playing man-to-man with this amount of depth and staying like very square, patient, smooth in his pedal. I do think sometimes he's a bit of a waist bender. Instead of bending at the knees, he bends at the waist, which is not a good thing, which can lead to some clunky transitions. But overall, like right here, playing with good body lean, not bending too much at the waist, and the smooth transition to stick with it. He can cover tight ends like that. The only one I really saw him give him some trouble was Kittle, but he did have some positive reps versus Kittle as well. But yeah, good rep here versus TJ Hawkinson. Good overall like feel for the play. I wouldn't say like he's a crazy instinctive player, but he's not like super lacking in that area either, and he can make up for it with his athleticism. But I do like him as a tight end matchup player for sure. That's definitely a thing that's in his bag. He has the size, athleticism, length, all that good stuff. And then here he is like helping double team Jefferson. Like Vikings go 0. Kirby goes down to get the running back. Melifonwu goes to double team Jefferson. He has inside leverage. He sees Jefferson break to the inside. He sticks up on the ground, cuts it off, helps knock that ball out at the catch point. Don't allow them to convert that third down situation. So just a lot of different valuable ways that he can be used. They, come downhill, make a tackle, play on the back and playing in a split field safety look. Niners run the jet sweep. The fact that he's able to limit this to a 2-yard gain is very, very impressive. That he gets downhill, squares him up. He does a really good job breaking down, not get missed. And then look at some play strength, point of attack. As soon as he hits him, he makes that play. That's really good work. Here he is playing as like a tricks defender on the backside of like a 3x1. He's on the backside of 3x1. They're running quarters. So they're leaving this guy isolated one-on-one. And he's just finding the number 3. 13's the number 3, but he goes out right away. So 85 becomes the new number 3. He locates that. He communicates to pass it off like, hey, I got this guy. He's working into my zone. I can take him away. Be patient. And then he works back to, take away that middle of the field. Just good job communicating. Understanding his responsibility, taking away certain things. He'd also come downhill, make some plays, beat some blocks. He's got the length, athleticism in these situations. One gets to the outside, like he's the flat defender. They throw in the screen. He wants to get to the outside. He wants to force everything back to the middle there. Now he's able to get to the outside. DJ Moore's trying to make some people miss. Now he's able to shed off the block of the receiver and then make that tackle near the line of scrimmage with the help of his linebacker. Just, not getting like too over aggressive, because sometimes people try to fly downhill and that can end up taking themselves out of the plays in certain situations, but he still does his job and limits that to a pretty nice gain. And here he's on the outside, like he has like he's lined up on a tight end, like they'll match him up on a tight end. Like he is a former corner coming out of college, but he will play mostly like that safety role. I do think he's like right now he's for sure a starter on the team with what they have at that position. Uh, like I think he'll at least play as like a big potential big nickel. In a lot of situations, probably not your back end safety. So I think if you're looking for a safety, you're maybe looking for someone that can play more as a deep middle of the field guy. But he just understands responsibilities versus the runs and screens. Like he's going, if he's a force defender, he's going to get out there. Like here, he's playing as that overhang. He's going to get around the block, attack the outside half of the blocker, so he's able to force things back to the inside, and then able to peel off the block and then help make that tackle. Just good work from Melifonwu. Really like him as a blitzer. Like he was every time I saw him blitz, he was either getting sacks or getting pressures. Here, just blitzing off the edge, able to just show off some nice hustle chase down with Caleb working away from him. He has that athleticism for sure. He's got really nice speed, range. We'll see a sack attempt of him later on where he beats a block of a running back. He can do those types of thing. Um, Here's a tough ass. So like he's over the top of this bunch right here on the 3 receiver side. They got one over here, tight end, and he has to chase across the field. This defender, like 13 gets taken away here, so he doesn't have that inside help. So he has natural outside leverage, and he has to chase DJ Moore across the field and have that recovery speed and ability to get back in position. To basically the only way this gets completed if it's like a perfect throw and catch, which is just a little bit off. He's able to get back and help influence that play not being completed. Good job down in the red area. Most of his film, all the film you've seen so far was from last year, and he only played in like 3 games in the last season. His best year was the year before, but like here he is blitzing off the edge. First step outside, widening his angle, and then makes the running back late to see him, sets this up, and then closing speed to get a hit on Brock Purdy. Really solid work there from Melifonwu. I do like all of these different ways for using him. The athleticism and the versatility is really what stands out to me, and I do think he can be a potential solid starter. It's just the health concerns for sure. I think after James Daniel, he's the one that has, out of the 4 signings they made so far, he's the one after Daniels that has the best chance of making an impact. He gives up a catch here to Kittle, but like getting one-on-one with this room with Kittle from this depth, and you have to play flat-footed pretty much, is very difficult, and he doesn't like give up much separation. But this is a tough ask, and it's just a perfect throw, perfect catch. Sometimes that ends up beating you. So I wanted to show him, losing in some reps out there, but like he can definitely cover tight ends. Like that's not a horrible rep to have, even though he gives up the catch. It's a tough situation to be in. And then I just think he makes like a lot of like disciplined plays. Like here, Niners are going for the trick play, the reverse, throw. Jawan Jennings works across his face. Sometimes guys in this scenario where he's the deep half might chase this, but he understands like he has inside help and he sees the backfield that the receiver's working with the ball this way, that he's not going to be able to throw this across his body like instantly. This safety's going to have time to get there. So he opens up his hips back to square and then finds the running back working late on the wheel route, which is where he wants to throw the ball. But Melifonwu was over the top to help take that away. Just really solid work. Here in cover 3, I really like him as a robber in cover 3. Like here, he's playing as that robber, buzz defender type player. Sink in that box. Once they throw to Kittle underneath right away on that option route, see that the quarterback has hit that back foot. He's reading the QB. Sees he hits back foot. He's playing flat-footed, waiting for that ball to be released. Boom, close downhill, get a nice clean hit on Kittle. Limit that gain. Don't allow any yak. Then you're matched up on Kittle in the red area. Does a good job using his length, physicality, getting hands on. Has that athleticism to match, maintains his positioning. The quarterback ends up scrambling on that play, but he does a good job taking away those spots. I like him as an underneath zone defender, better than a deep zone defender. I think he can do some stuff in deep zone, but underneath, if he's playing as that, hook, curl, flat, I think he does a decent job with feel. Like he plays flat-footed. He's able to, relate to both receivers. So like if number 2 works over the top of him, he has enough depth to potentially take it away instantly. But once he sees it goes down to the tight end in the flat after he, gets the check and release, Melifonwu was in position to transition downhill and then make a nice tackle and limit that gain to just a couple yard gain. Those are quality, solid safety plays for me. And here he's playing deep middle of the field, actually making this was like a huge interception. Helped seal the division for the Lions versus the Vikings. Opens up his hips, shows some fluidity. I think sometimes he can be a little clunky, but here he shows some fluidity. Open up his hips, get back to square, get in the spot, stay over the top, get the interception to help close that one out. It's just quality work there on the deep middle of the field. Here's a deep half play, and these are from the 2023 season where he looked better. They're playing Tampa 2. He gets over the top. This guy crosses his face, and in this situation, he knows this linebacker has to get over there. It's a tough ask for him, but he understands what their coverage responsibility is. So he gets over the top of the corner there. Now it's off script stuff. Off script stuff. Oh my god. Okay, and then he makes the play to get the interception there. So just understanding responsibilities, disciplined player. Not going to make too many crazy processing plays, but he does stay very patient and disciplined with when he has the athleticism and size and versatility to work with. Here he's making a tackle versus screen, actually a screen to Jonnu when he was on the Falcons, making that tackle in the backfield. Here's a nice play where they're 4th and 1, showing that they're going to do that, the tush push. He knows he's not going to really have an effect on this play right away, so he sees that this is coming. The boom, little toss, fake action there to DJ Moore, and he just does a great job getting out there, making a play, as athleticism to match, and then help make that tackle, slow him down, and then they get the stop on the play. And then as I was saying, effective blitzer, forces some fumbles too on when he gets sacks to get this ball out of Russell Wilson. The length definitely helps, having those longer arms. He can be a guy in the box that makes a play versus the run as well. He literally plays like a box safety. Sometimes plays literally just as a linebacker straight up. But here on the backside outside zone, cross the face, beat the receiver to the point of attack, beat that block, and then help make the tackle at the line of scrimmage. Definitely a willing tackler. That's a nice part of his game. And as I was saying, just blitzing. Here he gets the running back one-on-one, gives him a little bit of a stutter. Boom, freeze him. Use your hands, length, power, separate, and then able to make that sack in the backfield. So Melifonwu, definitely, a very typical Dolphin signing, I would say, with the injury stuff. But I do like the film, and I do think these are the type of players you kind of have to take the risk on this year, just due to the situation they're in. You can still blame the front office for putting them in the situation, but I don't necessarily blame them for making this type of signing with the situation they're in, if that makes sense. So I do like the player. That's why I'm just breaking down the film. But there are some question marks for sure when it comes to the injury stuff, because he has missed some times. Like Daniels is coming off the Achilles, but he hasn't had a super deep injury history. While Melifonwu hasn't had those major injuries, but he does have a deep injury history where he has missed times over the years. So Ifeatu Melifonwu come in and says,